Supremes have ruled that the emperor cannot legally slap tariffs on people he doesn't like. Or actually, on anybody. Prez has responded by saying he'll stay the course, of course. Are we approaching a constitutional crisis? That depends on whether the Constitution is expired or just in rewrite. President Henry IX slapped a 50% tariff on Switzerland because its president, quote, rubbed me the wrong way. We all know he likes to be rubbed the right way. It's in the files. Filed under black lines. He had 50% tariffs left over, so he plopped that on Brazil for prosecuting his fellow royal, well, to be fair, fascist, Jair Bolsonaro. So it's not just tech bros and Harvard that have to knuckle under. It's countries. Meanwhile, there have been 4,400 judicial rulings against Trump's ethnic cleansing of the nation. The judges are now saying the J-Dept has failed to comply with their rulings, and that they also testified dishonestly and represented the law inaccurately. Well, at least they didn't lie. The J-Depts countered that the charges are exaggerated, saying that in New Jersey they only violated orders 52 times. They said this. And Akash Singh, a deputy attorney general, clarified that, quote, an adverse decision from a judge is not a reason to stop doing what you know to be right. Well, I'm learning that knowing you're right makes might. I think. Another judge ordered the displays about George Washington's enslaved folk restored to his Philly house. Here's another number. The judge said the erasures add up to, 1984. The National Park Anti-Service says history was erased to ensure accuracy, accurate distortions, honesty, lying, and alignment with shared national values, slavery. The judge said if the government insists on dissembling, their actions must be disassembled. That's what she said. Apothic is a decent wine company. Anthropic may be an almost decent AI company. Bear with me. They have told the Department of Warmongering that they want no part of surveilling Americans nor autonomous weaponry. This judicious restraint made Eppie-boy understandably furious, as the restrictions are only supported by a tech elite that should rightfully be acquiescent to fox faces and White House grifter hucksters. Anthropic's CEO, Dario Amodei, reckons there's a 10 to 25% chance AI could destroy humanity. I like those odds. Warheg pushed back, saying they would only use AI according to law. According to law, a government term meaning trust us. This just in, Anthrop will drop its core safety pledge, lest the war people drop Anthrop. So much for almost decent. A judge has blocked the deportation of different view-holding Mohsen Madawi. The Department of Glorious Homeland Whitening retorted that no activist judge is going to stop them from expelling anyone who says Palestinians exist, even if the semi-illegal expellee is one. So he claims. Activist, a homelandish word meaning terrorist. Terrorist, a Department of Silencing word meaning in the way of our pogrom. Madawi was computer sciencing in the West Bank when he met an American woman. After coming to the U.S., he became a Buddhist and worked with Jewish peace activists. The Buddhists are taking our women. They're taking our Jews. Military veterans are demonstrating against our patriotic icicles. They say they hate to see war methods they were trained in for wars of conquest used against people here at home. Baby steps. Some drove from Idaho or Pennsylvania to Minnesota to, as they averred, protect America again. Big boy steps. The Emperor has nominated Jeremy Carl for an Assistant Secretary of State position. JC believes there is a thing he calls white culture that is falling from dominance, which is a bad thing, despite being not a thing. The core elements of the non-thing seem to be Christianity, maleness, and Northern European origins. Diversity and feminism were allegedly not on the founders' wish list, and Jews are too busy feeling victimized to join the Christian West. He has also promoted the Great Replacement Theory, in which Jews import dark people to replace whiter ones, and thus poison the blood, if not soil, of America. Far be it from me to critique other people's ideologies, but I can't wait for the history books to explain this guy, and his several million co-religionists. The obscene preteen smokescreen files have spawned attempts to capitalize on the trove's fascination with ludicrous, we hope, bot speculations, or botulisms. Chinese sources have asserted Epstein was connected to the Dalai Lama, while Russian posts link him to a Ukrainian child sex trafficking operation. Then there's the image of Eppie with Mamdani's mother and Zoran as a child, which proves conclusively AI-generated images are fun. But even more fun is getting a glimpse into the secret pursuits of our hallowed and ultra-admirable elites as they frolic with other criminals like themselves. The Latin word Caligula would seem applicable, but it's hard to say since of late we're only permitted to study the good things the man-god did, such as making his horse a consul. In fairness to his eptness, the perv-in-chief reached across the aisle, helping out Woody Allen, Noam Chomsky, Steve Bannon, and various bankers and princes. Displaying his grasp of international relations, Epp wrote to an Emirati businessman, "Loved the torture video." Also, in the correspondence, the CEO of Barclays wrote that the U.S. would never see a populist uprising of the poor because Super Bowl ads feature hip blacks in hip cars with white women. I'm torn as to whether to grudgingly agree with the bankster or enthusiastically call for a ban on ads, period. Donald J. Oil Gas Truck is firing his voters. That is, 1,600 workers at a Kentucky Ford electric truck factory that just shut down because Trumpet Kid canceled incentives for electric hoax vehicles. The laid-off job losers are not really losers, however. They are Trump voters. While they're unhappy with the closure, they don't blame Trump, with one saying, quote, "The way things are today, it would be way too expensive to find another cult to join." Okay, not quote.